Good morning, it's show day. So I know I get a lot of requests about what I do when I go to shows, how I haul my trailer, all that kind of stuff. So we're setting up right now. Trailer's hooked from last night. Getting all this stuff into the car. My plants that travel with me, these are just purely decor. Can't see out my rear view mirror anyway because I have too many seats. So I use my space where I can. Packed up my stuff. Got the car seats out because usually we drive this as the daily driver, but my mother-in-law's got the kids in our truck this weekend. So like I said, I will show you the process of how we're going to get this thing ready to go. And then I drive down there. And then once we're there, I will show you how I set up my trailer, which is what I get lots of questions on. All right, so this is kind of it. I know it is not pretty. There's way more efficient ways to do this. I used to keep these in a big box. These all go up on these shelves. And last show, I tried bungee cording them down to the shelves, and I thought that would work because honestly, they were pretty covered and they were really tight. But the product themselves bounced out. So it looks like a trash pile right now, but I promise it's not. That's just how I haul it to the shows. So that's all the stuff that's not going to slide off the shelves. You pretty much can't put anything on the shelves. Like these stay because they're so solid and round. But I cannot have anything up while I'm traveling. So you can see like I've got my signs, my displays. I just threw the ladder in here before we go and getting like the last couple things. My pillows, my benches for outside, my solar panels, everything. So you can see it's not real pretty as I'm traveling. I got to get better. I need a better system for like putting things in there and traveling, but also that doesn't take like a whole lot of time because that's the majority of my setup. Honestly, everyone's like, oh, it's great that you have a trailer and it must be so quick to set up, which the trailer is easy to set up, but like I still need to take all of my stock out of these cabinets and put them up. Also right now I have lots of clearance and like extra things I don't normally bring with, so I have a lot more stock than normal. So we'll see how long this one takes this time. Last time it took me 3 hours. The time before that it took me 1 hour and 45, but I also didn't have clearance then. So we'll see. But this is what it looks like as I'm getting ready to go. It is just a giant pile because if I have anything up, it's going to fall over because I don't have it like all bolted down to the walls. So we're going to get ready here, shut this, and get ready to get on the road because it is a 3-hour drive and I'm supposed to be gone at 6:30 and I think it's like 6:28. So we're almost on time. All right, we just stopped for gas. We didn't quite make it as far as I wanted to, but that's fine because I'm a little bit tired. My legs are getting numb. So we're just filling up here. I'm checking out the trailer quick and then we're gonna get back on the road. I am really glad actually now that I did not drive the truck. So you can see this is literally like how I haul my stuff. You can't fall on the floor if it's already on the floor, right? So I was gonna drive our truck actually, and then my husband said, no, I don't want that many miles on it because we just got it. And now I'm really happy actually because diesel is so expensive and I don't have to put diesel in this one. But I always try to go to the same gas stations. I always usually try to go to Quick Trip, A, because I know that I can fit in there, and B, because I one time went to a different gas station and I was really bummed when I accidentally pushed the premium button instead of the regular one because it was in the wrong spot. So we're just filling up now. We're gonna get back on the road, go get some coffee. We're about 1 hour and 15 minutes away, so that's good at least. And then we get into the crazy hectic setup slam. So I did a once around on the trailer, made sure nothing got like beat to piss, and it's all still there. All right, before we get going, I always laugh. So I always get people, especially like at gas stations or grocery store parking lots, or pretty much anywhere that I drive with this thing. Everyone always asks me, oh my gosh, do you like travel the country in this big van and with your trailer set up? I'm like, no, I own a candle company. So, and then it's less cool apparently. And they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, but when I'm driving down the road, I always laugh because as I'm driving, I'll get people pull up next to me and they're like checking it out, trying to figure out what it is. Cause you can't tell obviously from the outside. It's a big blacked out trailer and a 1-ton truck. So people are always like, oh, that's really cool. And then they pull up next to me and they're like, oh, that's a chick driving it. And it's amazing how many people are surprised by that. But I laugh because the reason I put a 2-inch lift kit in my truck is strictly because when I pull up to parking, to stop signs and lights and stuff, and there's guys in their like big lifted trucks and they think they're all cool. And I pull up next to them and I'm taller than them. So yeah, I just laughed because actually I just had a, I don't know if they work for the electric company. Yeah, it looks like they got an electric truck. a bunch of guys walked up at the gas station. They're like, oh, that's such a cool setup. You travel the country in that? I said, no, I'm going to a candle show. So laugh about that. Anyway, we're going to get on the road now, get our coffee, and see you in a little bit. Okay, so right now we just got to Minnehaha Falls. Obviously, everyone is getting in this line over here. I have never been to this event before, and so it's always hard when you go to an event for the first time and you don't know like their routine and stuff. But for this one, they gave pretty good directions when they email it to you ahead of time. My load-in time, I'm a little bit early, which there was no traffic, so that's good. And there looks like there's a little booth up here that I'm going to be able to go check into, and then we're going to go find our spot. So for this particular event, because it's in a park, they have us drive on the sidewalks, which obviously I'm going to have to go on the grass at some point because I have my trailer here. But for the most part, everyone kind of drives in their line based on what color area you're at, and that will determine which direction you have to go because they have different sections for what kind of vendors go where. So it seems very well put together. Obviously, I've been doing this a while. It's just my first time coming to this one, so I always get nervous when I go to new shows. But you can see they have like the info tent up here, and everyone's coming up and figuring out which exact sidewalk to go down. And then we're gonna get all unloaded. I'm gonna unhook the trailer immediately, go park in the parking lot because all my stuff is in the trailer already. Get my car out of there, and then go back and set up. So the nice thing, I usually try to tell them ahead of time, like when they're figuring out locations. It's always nice when I'm on an end. Obviously, everybody would love an end spot. But I think I usually try to explain to them, like I have two entrances, my tailgate and my side one. So there's a certain way I have to pull into all of these events. So I try to make sure that, I mean, some people have never driven a trailer, so I try to make it as clear as possible on how I have to set my trailer up because I can't like flip-flop it. I can't reverse it at all because my man door is on the passenger side. So I have to be able to pull in with my passenger side and my tailgate facing out towards the entrance of where people are walking. So they did a great job, put me on the end there. The only downside is they put me on the other side of the sidewalk. So there's booths on this side and then I'm on this side of the sidewalk. So my tailgate is going to face the vendor next to me, which is always a bummer because then they have to walk between booths to get on. But since I'm on the end spot, I think I can maybe pull myself away from them enough. Usually you have to stay in your marked lines, but I am on the very, very end and there's plenty of grass room past me that I think I'm going to be able to pull my trailer out far enough where like I'm not having people walk straight into the tent next to me, because that's just a bummer for me and for the other vendors. So again, I haven't been to this one before. Next year, if I do it again, I would request to be on the other side of the sidewalk so that we don't have that happen. But it looks like the line's moving here and I'm almost up. So we're gonna figure out where we're going and then I will show you guys what I mean when I set up, how I have to pull it in. But I think this will go pretty smooth. They seem organized, so I'll let you guys know in a minute. Okay, so I just talked to the lady. They have a backup of people in the blue area. I'm also really early, so I'm just parked to the side right now. So you can see, like, they actually have really nice wide sidewalks. It's basically like a road. So this place must get tons of traffic. I have never been here before, even to visit. So it's really a cool place. I can't wait to go look around. Another downside of coming to set up the same day as the show is like on days when you can set up the day before, you get a chance to like look around the area and check everything out. But I mean, it looks like they have these big pavilions and you can see tons of vendors already setting up. So I'm excited. This is a cool new place. I have not been before. It's also nice when you come down to like big cities. So obviously I'm way north of any big city. And so when you come down to these shows in the big city, it can be totally different vibes depending on what kind of show you go to. This one seems a lot more relaxed. It doesn't seem like a uppity, it'll be a nice time. So I'm really excited. This park seems super nice. It looks like they're very organized. So this is what I got when I got here. So your ST19, you have to fill out for pretty much any show. So if you are new to shows, expect to fill out, if you're in Minnesota, it's called an ST19. I don't know what it would be in other states, but that's basically saying like, hey, I am making taxable money here so that the state knows like, hey, I'm paying taxes. So then I have to report taxes later on what I made. But they gave me this lovely load-in procedure here, which is awesome. It's labeled for the blue ones. They seem very organized, kind of what they already had sent in the email ahead of time. So that's really nice. Usually you get one of these signs that has like your booth number, your name, and you have to leave that up on your booth at all times. Sometimes they don't make you leave them up, which I think is nice for my aesthetic, but I usually have it posted somewhere. They give you zip ties here, which is nice because usually you forget them. And then just the welcome packet here. So they seem super organized. It's all laminated already. They had one packet for everybody all set up. There's directions in there and like a bunch of other stuff. So I'm excited that they are very organized, because sometimes like you get to a new show and they are chaotic and it's your first time there. So it's nice that this is set up well. So basically I'm pulled over to the side right now, letting all the other cars go to the different colors that are not my area. Again, I'm early, so I will just kind of hang out here. I might get out and check this little area right here out, depending on how long it takes her to tell me I can go. So as soon as I get over to my spot, I will show you guys kind of how I have to do it. I'm gonna have to back this in, and I hope the other people behind me aren't already there. But even if they are, like I said, I'm on the very end, so I'm able to kind of pull up further, I would assume. So we'll see how that goes when I get there. I'd rather just pull straight in because I don't want to dink up the grass here because it's really nice. But I think I'm going to have to go down the sidewalk, back it up around the corner, pull up, and then back it in. So it's going to be like a 40-point turn. But these are nice wide sidewalks, so I don't feel as bad now. So I'll let you guys know. I'll show you the process once I get there. I forgot my tripod at home, so I can set you up in the grass, or I can show you later. All right, bye. For reference, this is what I drive. So I've got that big Nissan. It's a NV 3500 with my 20-foot trailer here. And my spot is marked right over here with these blue flags. So I'm right on the end, which is fantastic. But the downside of that is they're having everyone pull down this sidewalk here. So all these other cars are driving past where I need to set up. So he's gonna let a couple cars go through first. And I know they originally said don't drive on the grass, but he okayed that I could just back up between these trees. So my goal here is to take this rig, back it up through these trees into that spot, straighten it out as much as I can. And the way the map was, obviously I haven't been here before, so I was kind of confused on how it was gonna work, but I think I'm actually in a fantastic spot. I'm kind of down the main walkway closest to the falls, so I think it's gonna be great foot traffic. I'm right on the end, so I'm gonna be able to pull up a little ways away from that neighboring tent because there's quite a bit of space. You can see that my booth is from there to there. And all this is open right here. So I'm gonna be able to probably pull up this way more so that I'm not having customers walk straight into the next booth. But it's a really pretty place. Everyone's getting set up. I think there's gonna be tents all up through this hillside, all along the pavilions. And obviously it just started at 8:30 was the first setup for these vendors. My time was 10. Setup goes all the way till 2 o'clock. So it's gonna be a crazy day. I think this is gonna be a packed place. So I'm really excited. The weather's actually great right now. It's like 75 and it said it was gonna be 90. So I'm really hoping it's not actually 90 because that's just a little bit above my comfort range. But that's what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna back this between these two trees into my spot here, and I will let you know how that goes out. All right, so I got it backed up. I did not film it, sorry. It was just a little bit of maneuvering that I had to get done here. So these are my booth lines. They said I could put it kind of as far up as I wanted, so I'm gonna park it right here along the edge. I'm gonna drop my tailgate right now and make sure that I have enough room for this other booth to have plenty of space. And then we're gonna get it unloaded here. Okay, I'll turn the air down here for you guys, but I am already sweating. It's like 75 out. It's not bad. The weather's fine, but it's warm. So I'm so far up north that it does not usually hit 90s. And today down in the cities, it's supposed to be like 90, 95 all weekend, which is a little much for me, but I will deal with it because it's better than snow. But typically up by us, it like gets to 75 in the summer. If we hit an 80-degree day up there, it's like, wow, it's really hot out. So I know everyone down south is like laughing, but it's great, except for in the winter when it's negative 40. So right now we are actually headed, I unhooked the trailer, I'm all in my spot, but I haven't set anything up yet. I just dropped it and left because I had to get my car out of there anyway. And I've been meaning to go to the store because they have actual stores down here, right? Again, we are so far north that the closest like actual shopping is like 2 hours away, or an hour away for like if you want like Target or Walmart kind of thing. But like, I mean, we got a Bath and Body Works and an Old Navy like in our mall, but it's an okay mall. But like I need to go to Lululemon and Lush, and we don't have those. So that's like a 3-hour drive. So that's where I'm headed right now because of course our show hours, again, we didn't set up the day before, so I didn't have time to go do anything. Our show hours are like the exact same as store hours around here. So like we're 10 to 7 for this show every day. And so are stores. So I can't go before the show and I can't go after the show. And I had ordered a bunch of stuff on Lululemon and it doesn't fit because one size is too big and one size is too small.
At the next light, turn left.
Turn left. And so I unfortunately don't have the luxury of like trying things on ahead of time. And I haven't bought Lululemon since like before I had kids, like when I could afford buying that. But my problem is I've needed new leggings because everything I buy is too short. It's cheap material. So I'm just kind of sick of it. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy like 2 good pair and that's gonna last me years, except I can't find any that fit because they're all too short. So I know Lululemon carries longer ones. I'm real excited. I got some stuff I got online that I'm gonna have to return. And I just wanted to shop and feel like a normal person at like a regular store.
At the light, turn left onto Hiawatha Avenue.
So I'm making my way over to the shopping district real fast. I don't have to be ready to sell at the show until 3. And like I said, it usually takes me between 2 and 3 hours.
At the light, use the left lane to merge onto State Highway 62 West.
Okay. So it usually takes me like 2 or 3 hours to set up. Long story short, I will have plenty of time. I think so. I'm going to stop and get everything I need so I don't have to go to Target after the show because it gets pretty late. I'm staying at my cousin's house and it's already like pushing 8 o'clock by the time I would get there. So I'm going to go zip over here quick, go to Target, get my like things that I forgot to bring. Water for my trees.
Turn left.
I'm going to go buy jugs of water for my trees because it's hot out. And then I am going to go return my stuff and buy some leggings, ideally, and then head back and unload. So I will show you guys once I get back. This is very unimportant, unexciting things right now. So I'll let you know as soon as I get back, and I'll show you how I set up my trailer. Alright guys, got my shopping done. I bought more than I returned, but that's okay because I found some real good stuff, and this is like every once in a while. So backstory a little bit about me. I was born in Arizona, grew up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and then ended up moving after high school graduation to Southern California. So I lived out in San Diego area, Orange County area for like 8 years. Met my husband who was in the Marine Corps there. We were stationed in 29 Palms I lived out there for a year before we moved back to his hometown, which is Two Harbors, Minnesota. So I do have experience like country living and city life. I love being in a city. I don't love living in a city. So it works out real well that we are able to live up in the country and then I'm able to come down to the city to do all my shopping, which is fantastic. So I'm just gonna geek out for the next hour, get my thrill in, a little change of pace, and then go set up for the show. And then I guess I'll go to work. For anyone wondering what I film with, I either use my iPhone or I use this DJI Osmo Pocket 2. I love this one simply for the fact that like I would be so embarrassed to carry a camera around in public. And this thing is super slim and discreet and it doesn't even really look like much. It's actually even smaller than my iPhone. So it's less embarrassing when you're in public. You can do front camera, back camera, video, photo. It's got like a whole lot of settings. It's on a gimbal so you don't get that shake. It's got like first person view, you can lock the tilt, you can do a whole lot of stuff with it. I'm just getting used to it. I just started using it. I bought it a little while ago and I just haven't pulled it out because I've been kind of slow on like getting YouTube stuff up. But that's the one that I use like when I'm walking around, like when I was just in the mall, that's what I used. So if you want like reference of video quality and audio quality, I don't know. Like I said, it's new, I'm getting used to it, but I could never carry around a big camera and like talk to myself in public. That would be my worst nightmare. So this is what I use, super discreet, faces front and back. When you turn it on, just on the side there, the thing like automatically goes forward like that, or you can flip it to go back and it's super slick. So like I said, that's what I use. I'll leave a link down below if you really want to know about it, but it's cool. Is this a Cities thing? Because my Target does not have these yet, but how cool. It's like a basket in front, but my kid would fit. That's super exciting. I love the cup holders so you don't spill your coffee. Man, upgrades at Target. Okay, so we're done shopping. Just stopped at Target, got my snacks for the weekend, got water for my plants, and I bought a phone mount because I didn't have one of those and I didn't really have a use, but I do need to get better at getting all my YouTube stuff out and all the information I need. So this will be better, hands-free. It's gonna work great. So I have a loopy case. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's got like a loop on the back where you can put your hand, and it's the greatest case ever. But you can't put a magnetic mount on it then because it's got the loop on the back. So I had to buy the one with the spring on it. And then I put it on and it was like pushing my buttons at the same time, calling emergency services. So anyway, we got it figured out. It is mounted. I hope it stays well. We have our certificate of compliance we have to fill out quick. And then we're gonna bring like our booth stuff in that we need the rest of the day, our snacks. And then go set up. So it is 11:50 right now. I should be there by like 12:15. I gotta go find parking. I really don't want to pay for street parking all day, so I'm hoping I can either do the park and ride area or there's like a good spot close by that I can walk. And then we're gonna go get set up, and then the show starts at 3 o'clock, and then we should go start making money. So that's why we're here. All right, so I had to do paid parking. It's only $17.50 for today. I think tomorrow, being a full day, is gonna be like $30. But I also can park right here, and the show is right there. So if for some reason I need to run to my car and do something, I obviously only work by myself, so that's gonna be the easiest for me not to have to haul stuff. So that's where we're at right now. Paid for parking, yuck, and I don't have to walk though. We are here. We are getting set up. So here's my trailer. It's backed in here. I love being by food trucks. The majority of the reason being that when people are hungry in the lunchtime hour, that's usually when all the shops are slow. But if you're by the food trucks and they're waiting in line, they go, ooh, we should check that out after. So I love being by the food trucks. We're gonna open up the trailer here and enjoy our mess. So like I said, I am not like a great packer. I'm the person that, like, when you're moving, I put all my stuff into boxes with no lids and then just like stack it as high as it can go. My husband hates it. So that's kind of how I do my trailer too. I'm gonna get a better system, but for now it's working. If it's on the floor, it can't fall over. So this is what we're gonna do, is set up some of this stuff. You can see some of my glass from my fire pit fell down because it was like the glass rock and the lid must have popped off. So we're gonna just clean this up a little. I will show you once I'm stocking the shelves and then take you on kind of a tour of how I do stuff here. But you can see trailer, other vendors, and then the sidewalks where everyone's gonna go. If I would have thought of it ahead of time, I would have backed this up so there was more walking room, because I am gonna put my benches out in front of my wheels like I normally do. If I would have backed this thing up just a little bit, I could have put my fire table out there. It's obviously too hot, but then at least it's like something to set stuff on. People can sit down and they like to come in easier. But for now, this will be just fine. I'm gonna go unload and get it all a little bit cleaned up, and then I will take you inside there. Alright, so we're getting it set up here. The generators are a little loud over here. Another great thing about my location is pretty much everywhere else is covered in trees over here, and I run my entire thing on a solar generator. So I have enough solar power for the day for sure. It's charged to 100%, but if I didn't charge it for the whole weekend, I don't think it would last the whole weekend. And I am in a perfectly sunny open spot. So that's what we're gonna do right now. I'm gonna put the solar panels up on the roof right now. And then I have also those expanding ones. If I need more power, I can put them out back too, because there's plenty of space back here. But I'm planning on mounting these on the roof. I just didn't do it yet because I need to make sure I did it like a very secure way, so when I'm driving around with it, they don't get ripped off or anything. But right now, for now, I'm just gonna go mount them, or just set them on the roof for this weekend. And then we're gonna have full power the entire time with our fans and lights and not have to worry about it. All right, so I got them up there. So how it works is I have my solar panels up there and I run this solar cable down. So obviously I will be connecting that to my trailer at some point with just brackets. But I have this input here that I put in. This one here is so that I can run my electrical cord through if I'm able to just hook my trailer up to straight power at events. But when I can't, this is my solar hookup. And all I have to do is connect those. It runs to my panels on the roof. I also have an extender, so if I need to put these other panels out here for extra power, it just comes in the back. So if you're not walking behind my trailer, you really don't see that setup, and it's not too ugly. All right, we got solar hooked up, so you can see that our solar is coming in from up on top, and then that's what's going out for running just our lights. I can hook up my other 3 panels, so at least this will equal each other out for sure. So I'm not gonna run out of electricity just doing my lights. I shouldn't either with my fan. And I could go all weekend. So you can see, once I get like the big stuff out of here, like my signs and stuff, this is what I'm working with. I have all my extra stock that doesn't fit in my cabinets here. And that's like my clearance stuff that I don't normally carry. And so those things I'm hoping to sell out of so I don't have to put anything in the middle of my trailer anymore. But other than that, like, it got here pretty decent. One of my brackets from my sign fell off. Other than that, my shelf, which this is the first time using this new checkout, and I need to build it up higher and stuff still, but I was gonna put some kind of banner wrapper on the front of it so it's cute, but that shelf came out. Obviously I can fix that real quick. but this is my first time traveling with it. So the best thing that I could say is figure out how to secure all your stuff, because obviously I'm awful at that and my stuff moves. Where I hang my bags and stuff, a few of those fell off while I was driving, but again, no big deal because they're just bags. And now we are going to get the rest of this cleared out, all our outside stuff out, and then I will show you how I set up all my shelving and stuff like that. We are finally set up. So this is what it looks like when it's all done when you walk in. We have our mini candle tins, our wax melt wall right there, and all our clearance section under the window, our individual melts all packed and ready to go, and then our main area of all of our candles. This includes all our year-round, our seasonal spring and summer, and then our wood wick down on the bottom. The only thing I forgot to do is bring Cowboy. So Cowboy is my #1 seller. I spent 2 days prepping and making a ton of them, and that is the only 2 boxes that I forgot to bring. So it must still be sitting in my tent somewhere, but we do have our new Luxe limited edition summer candles today. So these are the first time you can buy them in person or online, and we have those 3 options, so I'm super excited. I hope they sell really well. We have our fans going because it's super hot, and our new checkout, which I'm going to eventually put up higher on wheels and then make a banner display for the front of it so it looks a little cuter, but right now I just stored my wooden boxes in there. Again, we've got this whole section underneath the window as our clearance section, and we are ready for everyone to come shop. So that's what it looks like after I had set it up. I kind of just finagled things around and moved things until it looks good. As it thins out, I'll restock it with whatever had left in my bins underneath. And if for some reason some of the spots get super bare, I'll just shift some stuff around so that it looks nice, and I would gladly sell all of it and it not look pretty as long as they're all gone. So that's what it looks like once we're all done. It's nice and cleaned up. I swept it all out, and we are gonna sell the next 3 days. So I'll let you guys know how it goes and show some snippets of as we go on. All right guys, so it's about 8 o'clock now. The music's still going. We're wrapping up pretty soon here, although there's still quite a few people shopping, so I'm not gonna leave. Obviously, if I'm already here to sell things, I'm not going to leave early if there's still people wanting to shop. I hate when vendors decide to close up early just because, like, time's up and then people don't want to spend their money. It's still nice out, and I will gladly take your money while you're still here. So I just want to show you guys, when I have a downtime in between, like, having groups of people in here, I just fix up my shelves a little bit when people put stuff back. Obviously, no one puts the labels the right way. So that's constantly what I'm doing anytime people aren't in here. And aside from that, I just kind of take stock of what I already have. I shift things around. So obviously I just sold a few of these, so I pull them to the front so that they still look nice and presentable. And I won't necessarily refill any of these tonight. Obviously you can tell Cowboy sold out right away. But none of them are really low enough that I need to, like, pull things out of my cabinet and restock. Tomorrow I might need to do North Shore and a couple other ones. Thankfully my clearance section is clearing out, so we're getting lucky with those ones to where I don't need to ever bring them again, so that's great. And then tomorrow, if I start running out of things, I can pull them out of the cabinets during slow times, or tomorrow night I'll just restock completely what I need to. I didn't expect some of these limited edition ones to go so fast because I brought a couple dozen of them and this is what I have left. So maybe I'm going to take notes on these for next year and maybe add those as year 2 summer ones. I'm not sure yet. But this is like a good time to take notes if you're doing shows for the first couple times on what sells and what doesn't. Granted, I do get a lot of shows where, like, sometimes something will sell fantastic and the next show, something that didn't sell at all is all of a sudden like the hot item of the week. So I'm just going to kind of go around and fix all these shelves up, and then as I see people start to slow down and not come in so frequently, I'll kind of start packing up All I really do to pack up is I put the lids on these candles that I have for scent testers. I didn't used to keep them open, but I find that especially people that only have like one hand, if they're carrying other bags and stuff like that, can pick them up way easier, and they're more prone to smell things, and then they buy stuff. So I do leave one of each open, and then people generally feel like they should smell it. So it works well. But that's kind of what we're doing. We're wrapping it up. I swept a couple times. I think I'm gonna mop because it did rain for like 20 minutes, and it was super windy, and all these other tents outside were like packing their stuff and grabbing their tents and tying them down, and I was just fine in my trailer. So hoping that the weather is super sunny tomorrow, because I do have my solar generator running, and I'm at about 50% battery because it has not been sunny and it has been raining. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm going to wrap this up for tonight, and I will show you day 2 in the morning and kind of fill you in on how it went. I think my sales are just over 1,000 for today, and that was only 3 to 8. So a short day, a little half day. Tomorrow, typically Saturdays are the busiest, and it's a full day, 10 to 7. So again, hoping to make, at very minimum, should be $6,000, and hoping for 10,000. That'd be a great goal. But 6,000's like, if I don't hit that, it's kind of a bummer, because that's like my bare minimum that I make up north. So down here where it's bigger should be no problem, but we'll see. All right, that's all I got for today.